Let me say a special good morning to those of you who are viewing GBN TV, Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channels 20. Good morning to you. Those of you listening, Classic Radio, 105.5 or 105.9. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being Wednesday, it's the 10th day of January, within the year 2024. This morning, usually on Wednesdays, we review, of course, various departments within government. And this morning, we do have is it the organizing committee, right?
National
Organizing Committee. Welcome to, of course, Ms. Purcell. Good morning to Mr. Adrian Mark. Good morning. Of course, we do have a resident from Carriacou. We'll be linking to them shortly. Welcome and good morning and Happy New Year to both of you. How are you doing this morning?
Thank you. Happy New Year. I'm doing great so far.
Thank you. Happy New Year. I'm fine too.
Well, nice to have you folks this morning. You know, Ms. Purcell, a couple of months ago we were talking, we're getting ready for Grenada's 50th anniversary of independence. We were saying that a couple of months ago. I remember having our first interview about it, and of course, and you said, hey, we're getting ready for the independence. We're getting ready for the launch.
Yeah.
Now the launch has taken place, and we know we're getting set for the actual Independence Act. Most of the activities are getting to flow within this particular month.
Correct.
That will lead up to the actual Independence Day.
Yes.
And it's a year long. Of course, list of activities coming, and this was just the start of it.
Yeah.
We want to kick off this morning's conversation with the Sister of Carriacou.
Yes.
I hope our rep is there, of course, and ready for us this morning. Of course, we should be having from Carriacou this morning. Let me get her name. That's Amanda Jack. Of course, she's a parish lead inside of the Sister of Carriacou. She's going to give us some highlights in terms of the calendar of events that will be taking place inside of Carriacou. I wonder if Ms. Mark is with us. So, Ms. Mark, good morning and welcome. Amanda, Jack. My bad. So, Mark and Jack seem to be good this morning. Miss Amanda Jack. Of course, Miss Amanda Jack, good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, and I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Now we know that, of course, it seems to be in high gear already in terms of the activities inside of Carriacou. Give us some information in terms of what's going to be taking place that would lead up to Carriacou. I hope your mind is not too much in Carnival, but let's give us, a feedback in terms of what's to look forward to in terms of Independence celebration that will lead up to our 50th anniversary of independence in Carriacou.
Truly, independence is coming right after our carnival is coming right after our independence activities. But the focus right now is on the Jubilee celebrations and ensuring that Carriacou and Petit Martinique has a celebration that is worthy of 50 years of independence, where we are part of the national activities and celebration. Carriacou and Petit Martinique has gotten off to a start already. We had our first event last year, our H.A. Blaze lecture series. Sunday gone, we had our health fair and walk. We walked from Wynwood to Hillsborough. We had a health fair featuring Hills and Valleys Pharmacy and our community health nurses who did blood pressure checks and blood sugar checks. It was really well done. So those have already gone. We're focused right now, next Sunday, the 14th of January, in what we call Petit Martinique Day, our Best Village competition, and our relay meets, which will be next week, Friday.
Tell us about, in terms of the preparation for those activities inside of Petit Martinique. Tell us about the preparation thus far.
In Petit Martinique on Sunday, Petit Martinique Day. So we're going over to the smallest of the three isles, and we are going to cause it to lean maybe on a side because we have quite a packed day in store for us. The day begins at 9 a.m. at the Sacred Heart RC Church for the Petit Martinique Independence Service. And following that, we are going to move to the Petit Martinique Recreation Ground for a fun day. They have planned a number of activities and entertainment options for attendees. Maple dancing, rounders, musical chairs, dancing competition, card games. For the children, we will have face painting, bouncing castle, musical chairs, treasure hunts, balloon blowing competition, dancing competition, and we will be entertained by Carriacou's own cultural trained string band. So it's a packed day over in Petit Martinique. From 9 to around 7 p.m., we've been to Petit Martinique, enjoying ourselves, celebrating 50 years of independence. Transportation will be provided. There will be buses on the road, and the ferry from Windward MV Paradox will be taking us to and fro from Carriacou to Petit Martinique for the day.
All right. Well, it seemed to be a jam-packed event coming up on Sunday, the 14th of January inside of Petit Martinique. I like how this team, Petit Martinique, there. So the folks inside of Petit Martinique are getting their fair share of the independence celebrations, and you can't leave them out. They can't be left out at all. Of course, we all combine as well.
No one out. It's something for everyone. It's important that everyone feels a part of the celebration. So we're going over to Petit Martinique on Sunday, bringing them into what we have planned.
All right. Of course, I want to thank you so much for sharing information with us this morning. And of course, as time draws closer with the other events that are coming up, I certainly hope we could have you again with us and you could share those information. I've let the listener and viewing public have a clear view of what's taking place inside of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good morning. All right, hey folks, so we are moving on this morning. Once again, we have Mr. Adrian Mark with us this morning, and of course, Mr. Gail Purcell with us this morning. We also have Mr. Alvin Clouden with us this morning, and he's the Sports Council Secretarian. He's, of course, we're going to speak about all the spoken activities that would lead up to, of course, our 50th anniversary. Of course, Ms. Purcell, let's kick it off with you this time around. Tell us what's going on. What's going on again with the independence celebrations?
Well,
there's so much taking place. I wonder where you would like to start.
Yeah, there's so much going on that I have to bring on reinforcements to keep it going.
I like that.
Because there are lots of things happening all at the same time, and I know it's probably a lot for the general public to consume.
Yes.
Because our team was on earlier this morning, and they were talking about the gospel show, and I know they also gave an overview of the calendar of events, but I think this would give us a better opportunity because things have happened in the realm of our Calypso monarch. So I have Mr. Adrian Mark who's going to share what's happened there. Because we've completed the preliminary round and we are readying. We've selected our semi-finalists.
Yes, I did have a view of that list. We're getting ready for that, and I'm not going to let everything out. I'll leave something for him to talk about, but it's been quite a positive response in terms of the number of entries we had submitted for the preliminary. So we're very excited about that. I want to delve deeper into our flag relay and give an opportunity to share. We haven't shared much about that yet. So we're going to primarily focus on those two things. Okay.
And then add on the other stuff as we come along.
All right. So the flag relay, who's going to be taking the lead on that this morning? When he says Mr. Clouden, of course, going to be taking the lead on that.
I think we're going to start with Calypso first.
All right. Let's go to Calypso.
Yeah.
Of course, Mr. Mark, tell me. Calypso, I know that the list, we had the semi-final round going through. Now we're getting set for, but the list is out for the semi-final round. Or is it for the final round? Semi-final round. Yeah. All right. So tell us. Hold on.
Well, I want to say thank you again to NOC, especially Miss Gail Purcell, because she's the one that on my back to make sure things happening. But I like that. I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity again. Over the years, I've been doing the independent Calypso, but this year, it's a special year. So if I'm given the green light to do it again, I want to say thank you. This year, it's to me is a better year. I don't want to say the best year because the year is coming, so I will say the better year. Yeah. So far,
When you say the better year, is it because of the quality of the
quality of lyrics, quality of music, quality of Calypsonians.
All right.
I don't want to go back too far, but when I was put in charge of the Independence Calypso, I used to struggle to get 9 people going into this finals. So we didn't used to have a semi-finals. So we used to just have a preliminary round,
and just lead straight into the finals.
So the submission that I got before was just around 9. So they just had to go in the finals. Whether it is good Calypso or not, that was the situation. But from last year, we realized a vast improvement. So we introduced the semi-final leg of the Independence Calypso.
What may have spurred that particular enthusiasm of folks wanting to participate more between last year and this year?
Well, I want to say the 50th is one of the incentives that give them to participate. But also I think it's a preparation for the national calypso. Them guys could gauge themselves to know how they will perform for the national calypso.
All right.
So they know what the preparation, the quality of songs, even the intonation, their voice, they know that they will be ready for. So they take that opportunity to get involved in the Independence Calypso so that they could gauge themselves for the national calypso. And this year, we have 60 entries. And I did some data check. The number of Calypsonians we have in Grenada is around 70-something. So you know...
Approximately full-time Calypsonians around in the 70s.
In the 70s. So you know what is going on. Almost 100% of the Calypsonians in Grenada took part this year. So that was happening. And I was so happy. I said on some medias already that I wouldn't like to be a judge for the preliminary round because out of that 60 we had to select 20. So you know already 40 people not out of it, you know. So
probably some folks,
folks
may have been unhappy just a wee bit. They didn't get to going.
Yeah, but 20 we had to select. So it was a challenging time for the judges. It was 3 judges and they did well. I look at the scores. The scores range though. The score range from around say around 58 to around 70. So you know that it is tight. So all that 60 Calypsonians fit between 55, 58 to 70. So just imagine.
So now some careful judging have to go into that there now in terms of selecting that 20 that wants that
yes. So it was difficult. I would not like to be a judge, but I was there in the process. But they did well. And in front of me now, I don't know if you want me to name the semi-finalists.
I will go right ahead.
In front of me now, I have the names of the semi-finalists. We have Brent Buckmeyer, area code. Christopher Antoine, the squeezy, he's back. That is nice. Kemalin Noel, a newcomer, Coco. Edison Francis, teacher Eddie. Finley Jeffrey, scholar. Hermione Victor, Miney. Jason Joseph, Big J. Jomin Simon, superstar. Jerry Battis, Papa Jerry. Joseph Telesford, Supreme. Keturah George, Micah Joseph, Baraka, Michael Prince, Patrick Humphrey, Lucky, Randy Isaac, Riffle Johnson, Croceta, Ray Samuel, Sukare, Samantha Dixon, Royalty, Sean Niles, so what's up on, and last but not least, Valin Ned.
All right, great. Yeah, folks like Croqueta coming back in the he was being off for a little bit. That's good. I'm hearing names as Hermione. I think I've never heard her in the calypso field before. I know her being a soca artist and you know she's now into the calypso. That's good. Making of course her coming back. How do you feel about the lineup?
Very good. What I'm happy about, we have 5 ladies. Yes. We have Miney. We have Coco, we have Keturah, we have Superstar, and we have Valiant.
5 women in the way.
Yeah, so that's good. That is very good. You know, that gives a good color or good picture that people can come and enjoy.
All right.
Real good calypso.
So tell us the finals, the process for that now, how it goes on, taking place.
So, as I said before, we used to just have the preliminary round straight into the finals. Now we have a semi-final round. So the semi-finals will be happening.
I'm so accustomed hearing the preliminary round and then finals. No, I'm missing this. I'm dropping out that semi-final round.
Correct.
It has never been part of the process.
Yeah, last year.
So I'm still trying to get myself into the tune of it that there is a semi-final round this year. So after the semi-final, how many folks will be making it to the final? 9 to the finals.
It's tougher again, eh? So 11 people will be off, but 9 will be making it to the finals.
All right.
And the semi-final, let me say, the semi-final is happening on the 28th of January at the Lasses Just Playing Field at 7 p.m. And the finals will be happening at the bus terminus in St. Patrick's, Sutter St. Patrick's, and it's happening on the 27th of January at 8 p.m.
All right. It's going to be an interesting competition this year because you said from the preliminary rounds, the amount of artists that have signed up to participate, the amount that has now made it to the semi-final round and the finals. It seemed like the wanting to participate this year seemed to be something that artists have put their all into.
Yes, and what I also say, I'm saying now that the quality, you could see that a lot of thought went to the writing, a lot of thought went to the composition, a lot of thought went into the music. So I think people really wanted to be a part.
I guess most of the artists have focused a lot on the theme that was recommended for it also.
Definitely the theme and otherwise nationalistic, patriotism, love Grenada. These are the kind of lyrics that came out, and that is what we want.
All right, great.
I'm hoping that out of that we can use a few for like folk songs that we can teach in schools. Like up to date, we had a Independence Kaiso by Dictator, which I want to use him if Miss Purcell give me the permission for the final. The Bright Out of Darkness.
Yes.
And we are using
a beautiful song that seems to be sung in fresh every time you listen. Every time you listen to
it's a folk song. A folk song because this is what we are doing in schools. So I hope some of these will lend itself that we can use and can be played years to come.
All right. Great. We drew for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we should chat some more. Stay us, folks. It's to the point for today, Wednesday the 10th. We coming right back after the break. Don't touch it dial.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with the NLA's exciting You Must Win promotion. Spend $15 or more in a single ticket purchase on Daily Pick 3, Daily Cash 4, or Playway, and just like that, you have chances to win prizes valued at over $100,000. Winning is easy. Simply check your tickets for the words "You won," free cash, free phones, free tablets, or free Instacash tickets. But wait, that's not all. You can also win free raffle entries for chances to win not one but 2 cars in NLA's You Must Win promotion. Promotion runs December 1st, 2023 to January 31st, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 and over to participate. The NLA, making your Christmas and New Year dreams come true.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point here at Classic Radio and TBN TV. Once again, let me say good morning to all listeners via our social media platforms. Those of you via our Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning and welcome back. Once again, with me, we have Ms. Gail Purcell with us this morning and, of course, Mr. Adrian Mark from the Ministry of Culture. Mr. Mark, let's continue on the train of the Calypso competition that's coming up, the Independence Calypso competition. I know for the benefit of, there's probably an artist who is listening right now. And, you know, he may be saying, hey, I know I submitted my song. Yes, I have made it to the semi-final round. What is the criteria that I have to look for, or what do I have to sing for? There are probably individuals who are listening right now. You know, there are folks who like to judge for themselves. You understand? Individuals who are listening and say, I think I have the capacity to listen and judge. Yeah, the folks do that. You understand? Probably you can list the criteria for us and so forth, and that folks could look forward towards the particular song when they do listen to the semi-final round.
Yeah, very well. And I want to say that the criteria used for the preliminary round was slightly different because, you know, the criteria that we use for the semifinals will be lyrics, melody, rendition, originality, and presentation.
So it's slightly different from the preliminary round.
Right, because no presentation.
No presentation.
No presentation, no. All because, you know, presentation is bringing up your props and, you know, the things like that, video, clips, etc.
So the preliminary round, if I may have to ask, was judged basically by listening to the song that you submitted?
Yes, they submitted the song. Registration was through the submission of the song.
Okay.
So after you submit the song, then we have 3 judges. I could name them. It doesn't matter because they are Robert Francis, Abina Vincent, and Karim Alexis.
Okay.
Over the years in the preliminary round, we used to have only male, but I just had a feeling that more...
You need to tap a female.
Yeah, more ladies will come into the competition.
All right. So
I didn't have a choice to add a female onto that 3-man panel, and it works well. So we exclude the presentation now from the preliminary round, but for the semi-finals and the finals, the presentation is back. Okay. So lyrics is 30 points, melody is 30 points, rendition 15, originality 15, and presentation 10 points. Okay. That gives you a total of 100 points.
All right. I guess you wouldn't want to state the finals yet until when the finals already, in terms of the criteria. We'll leave that until when the finals will come around.
Correct.
Then you will probably state what the final will be like. But for the benefit of the listeners and viewers, once again, semi-final round will be taking place.
Right. The semi-final will be held at the Lassages playing field on the 20th of January at 7 p.m.
All right. And I'm assuming the artists will be singing with a live band this time around?
The artists will be singing with a live band.
A live band. Yes,
definitely.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. We certainly are with that because, you know, Calypso is also a part that makes our culture part of it. And independence of our culture had to be highlighted a whole lot.
Yes.
If I would say that.
Yeah, quickly though. Rehearsal for the Calypsonians starts today. At the Trade Center at 5:30 p.m.
All right. Great. So when we move from there now, Ms. Purcell, of course, are we going to talk sports or are we going to talk more of the activities that are coming around?
We're going to get to sports. I just want to put a call out for the public to really get behind our Calypsonians and the Independence Monarch and come out in your large numbers on the 20th at Lassages, because I think the fact that we've had 60 preliminary entrants into a competition where a few years ago we were kind of pulling people to come in.
Correct.
A question I didn't ask, was the last year's winner, was there an automatic qualification? Will there be
automatic qualification? He's the defending champion.
Okay, great.
Nivian Cox?
Yes.
He's the defending champion.
All right. We're just going to find out if it was a whole new process. As it's at the 50th, you say maybe it's a whole new competition we're throwing in. So
So we have the benefit. I see it as a benefit of having a Dimanche Gras in February, in January, very early in the year, and I support Mr. Mark in terms of what he's saying. It's like a preparation for what is to come later in the year.
And the quality of the Independence Calypso competition gives you a highlight of what the Carnival Calypso competition will be like.
So I think it's going to be really something to take in, and you're not going to want to miss the semis and say you're just going to the finals. You have to come to the semis in Lassages on the 20th of January and come out. It will be a bumper show and really take part. And this is all part of our celebration of our independence. Don't just wait for the climax event on the 7th where everybody's thinking that it's just going to the stadium for the that's going to be an event all on its own. But all of these lead-up events are part of our celebration of our 50th anniversary.
So true. It's not like just waiting for the 7th of February, but when you go to all of this, you feel that drive, that participation and being part of all the activities.
Yes, when you hear all the lyrics that are going on in the patriotism songs, our love of our country and all of the things that challenge us for the next 50 years, that's all part of rolling into our celebration of independence. So don't leave it to one event to say that this was the celebration of 50. The celebration of 50 is spread across all of the events. So participate in as many of them as possible.
All right, great. So we have, of course, Mr. Alvin Clouden with us this morning. We want to talk sports for a wee bit. Sports is also a critical part of our, of course, that leads in independence, part of our Grenadianism, because I like to use that word, a bit of a Grenadianism in there, So, Mr. Alvin, good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning? And welcome to The Point here on the Classic Radio GBN TV. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you to your guests, Ms. Purcell and Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark, how are you doing this morning? I didn't see you in office before you leave.
Great.
We are here together.
All right. Now we know, of course, you're part of the sport, the Ministry of Sport, the Sports Council Secretariat. Of course, I want to thank you for being with us. Tell us what's happening in terms of the sporting activities for Independence 2024, our 50th anniversary.
Well, for the sporting activity, Sunday the 28th of January has been dedicated to sports. So that will be the major event for the week of Independence. However, there will be several other sporting activities taking place throughout the year. So I want us to put that out very early, that there will be several other activities taking place throughout the year. Ending in November. That schedule of activities will be produced or given shortly. However, for this major activity on the 28th, we are having a flag relay around the island. And this flag relay involves 4 disciplines. The disciplines are running, sailing, swimming, and cycling. So we begin on Sunday morning at 8 a.m. at the Sauters bus terminal, where we expect to have 7 teams representing the 7 parishes of Grenada. And each team for the athletics will comprise of 7 members. So it's a around the island relay. It's a flag relay. So the first leg is that of running. And the runners will run from Sauters to Dragon Point in St. George or in Molinier. So they run from Sauters to Dragon Point. The next leg is sailing. Sailing sails from Dragon Point to the inner harbor in St. George near to the ministerial complex. The third leg is swimming, and swimming swims across the harbor to Grandans, ending on Camohon Park, or what we will now call Heroes Park, because adjacent to that is the designated area for the Heroes Park. So swimming swims across the harbor to Camohon Park, Heroes Park, and then the fourth leg are the cyclists. The cyclists will cycle from Grandans Heroes Park to Grenville Bus Terminal. That way we will have completed or circled the entire country. Now, each team, for example, the running, which starts at 8, because it's about 32 kilometers, there will be 7 persons running that leg per parish. So you have 7 runners per team. So basically you have almost 49 persons running from Sauters to Dragon Point. The route, the stations or the handover has already been designated, and that is assisted through with the Grenada Athletic Association. They are the ones with responsibility for that. So they are coordinating that. And from the Next leg is the swimming. So the Grenada Sailing Association is coordinating that aspect. What we have will be for the 7 parishes, we have 2 sailors per parish because of the class of boat that we are using. And the class of boat is the laser class. So you have 2 persons per boat, and they will sail from Dragon Point to the inner harbor on the Carriacou. So let me just say that. So the first team that runs, when they get to Dragon Point, they will then hand over the baton to the sailor who then leaves. And then that sailor gets to the inner harbor, and then the swimmer then takes off and goes to Camahon Park. And similarly, the cyclist then goes. So for the cycling, there are 3 stop points. The final stop points have not been, or handover points have not been determined, but there are going to be 3 positions there. Because the cycling can do a lot more than the runners, we only have 3 points for that. So that's basically the concept behind the inter-parish flag relay. The original concept was to do something in St. George only, but through planning, we decided that we need to do something right around. Now, let me just also add that Carriacou and Petit Martinique will be involved in it through athletes' participation in the event. So you will have persons from Carriacou and Petit Martinique who will be involved in the event. So I'll stop there just in case there are any questions from you.
I wanted to ask, of course, in terms of individual wanting to participate, is there a registration process or so forth that folks, if who wants to participate?
Right. So there is a call, and you should see more of that today. Now, for example, in the cycling is a more specialized event, so where you have persons who can do that properly. So the Cycling Federation have selected their lead teams. However, we will be putting out a call for other persons who want to ride along. So you are free to ride along as part of a parish team. Similarly with swimming, it is a risk to have just any and everyone who have not been medically checked to swim across the harbor. Yes, I mean, many persons may be able to do it, but you have to be registered. So there is a call out for swimmers to come in, register. You will be medically checked, ensure that you can do the cross harbor. We'll have all the safety measures as the Coast Guard and other things to be there. But so those are 2 specialist areas. Then with the running, the Grenada Athletic Association is spearheading that, but there's also going to be a call so you can run along with the lead runner per leg.
Okay, great. Now, you have mentioned so much. How has the feedback has been thus far in terms of this activity? I know you have spoken about it. You have mentioned the process of how folks can participate. What is the feedback you've been receiving thus far through the Ministry of Sports thus far?
I think the feedback is tremendous, but we have a lot of work to do going forward. The federations have done what they can do in terms of the specialized participants. However, the call is now out for other persons because we want this to be a mass event as much as possible. So the call is now going out for persons to register, and you will see more of that within the next day or 2. So this is one aspect of ensuring that persons who wish to participate can participate by registration.
All right. And just in terms of asking about registration once again, is it there a particular place an individual can go? That will sort of be mentioned today, or how folks could, the process of how they could be registering? There's a place they can go to get registered, or there's a website address or so?
There will be, you should be able to register on the website. But the further details will be provided by tomorrow as to the process for registration. It is one thing that we have just been finalizing.
Okay, well, thank you, of course, once again, Mr. Clouden, of course, for sharing information. I certainly hope lots of individuals participate, and it should be an awesome event.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't want Mr. Clouden to go too far, but I'm not aware that this type of event has been undertaken previously.
I mean, at the magnitude that's what you wanted to have.
Well, yeah, because we're terming it a quadrathlon because we're accustomed to a triathlon.
Yes, so true.
With three disciplines. We've added a different element in there, including the sailing component of it. And really, these are disciplines that are indigenous to us around, in terms of they're growing in terms of their popularity. We all know we have athletics and everybody follows running. But sailing plays an integral part in our life on mainland Grenada and Carriacou and so forth.
I was supposed to put the sailing part is only seasonal for some folks.
Yeah, but the regattas play a significant role overall. In our tourism product, we have regattas between Grenada and Carriacou that play a significant role in our product. We have Sailing Week, which is coming up this month.
Yes.
And Sailing Week is a significant part of our tourism product. So it's an integral part of stealing your term, our Grenadianism. So we really want to hone in on our athletics and our sporting disciplines, and also give them a little highlight. It's an opportunity, not just, and we know that because of the speciality of some of the courses, we do expect experienced people, but I also am aware, because of my involvement in swimming, that we have experienced swimmers who are out there, may not be part of the association. So those individuals would certainly be considered.
Give them opportunity to highlight their skill or talent.
We just, if you've just learned to swim last week, this is not necessarily the opportunity for you to test how well you're learning to do a cross harbor. But it's just opening up the appetite for more sports. Mr. Clouden did also allude to the fact that this is the event that's happening at this period, but there will be a number of
events that will go through the year, because it's a year-long celebration, more or less.
Our intention was to really kind of twin this activity with a parish sports day.
Yes.
We thought the plan was a little more ambitious than it was possible. So the parish sports day will happen. It's just going to happen a little further down the line.
Right.
And so we want people to come out. That they can. Those who are in the swimming circles, they can go on the GASA Facebook page and register at this point in time.
All right.
Their interest, and the other disciplines are going to be reaching out to the known athletes in the area, and also putting out a national call for participation.
All right. We drew for a break. Let's take it. When we come back with Purcell, I want us to focus a bit on some of the highlighted, of course, activities that will be taking place within the month of January. We come back. Hey, folks, we're going to take a break. We're coming right back. Stay with us. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back.
Men, unfortunately, are just delinquent in looking after their health.
Our health, our good health is our responsibility, not your wives or your doctors or anybody else. The wives will support you, but the buck stops with you. It's your life.
I encourage all our men, wherever you are in the Caribbean, to start getting your screening done, and hopefully the life you save might be your own.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
On Caribbean Passport, join us for Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. Witness the spectacle of the mass, the music, and the energy. Then we'll sprint over to Barbados for the Run Barbados Marathon. It's color, revelry, and tons of excitement on Caribbean Passport, right here on this station.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Of course, we have Ms. Gail Purcell with us this morning. A while ago, we spoke to Mr. of course, Clouden. He spoke to us about, of course, the sporting activities that are coming up. We spoke to Mr. Mark. He spoke to us about the Calypso competition. We want to go over to Ms. Purcell once again and speak about some of the activities that are coming up, or the highlighted ones that are coming up within the month of January. Right. If you can go ahead and tell us about that.
Okay, so just to share, Dr. Angus Martin would have been on the program yesterday, I think in the morning, early morning part. So just to remind the public that they have the book launch of his A to Z of Grenada's heritage, will be officially launched tomorrow at 6 p.m. That will be at the Houses of Parliament. Okay. So it's open to the public to attend. And that's all part of it. It is an official event of the 50th anniversary of independence, because we're trying to touch things that touch different segments of the population. So we spoke about sports, we spoke about Calypso. We have a plethora of authors in Grenada, many of which have written books in keeping with our heritage and our history and everything else. So it's an opportunity to highlight them, and certainly as the year goes on, we will be highlighting others. So I'm just putting a call out to invite people to the book launch this evening at 6 p.m. at Mount Welldale. St. Paul's Sports and Cultural Development Organization, they are part of the official events for the 50th anniversary. They're hosting their first event on Thursday, that's tomorrow, the 11th at 7 p.m. That's a panel discussion under the theme of our theme, One People, One Journey, One Future, Lessons from the Past 50 Years. It will highlight a cast or panelists, including Dr. Francis Alexis, Dr. Wendy Grenade, Dr. Nicole Philip Dow, Dr. Oliver Benoit, and Mr. Aquino Romaine. So that's going to be an interesting discussion. We want people as well to come out and participate in the events, because we have entertainment, and then we have education, and they need to balance. They need to balance so that
education and of course and the entertainment and education, but they have to mesh somewhere together. You know, someone will say someone who does entertainment and education at the same time seem to always dominate for some reason.
So we need to balance the type of events that we have throughout our calendar. So we've been attempting to do that, because there's been a call for people who want to learn more. They want to know more about their history. They want to understand the context of what we live in today. If we don't have a context for that, how do we plan for the future? How do we project where we want to go for the future? And that's part of the independence theme. It's not just about the here and now, but us as a people, what has taken us, what path have we gone through, and where do we want that path to take us?
What has led us to that 50th?
What has led us to that
50 years?
And where are we going for the next 50? So this type of event, from the book launch to the panel discussion, is really trying to invigorate that type of discussion and to get us in that mode that we want to have a great time. We want to challenge our minds as well. So I think it's all part of the balance.
All right.
So that's just one thing. So that's just this week.
Yes.
But next week, our team also will be on speaking a little bit more about the youth symposium, the ICANN Youth Symposium, and that's taking place next week, Friday, at the Radisson Beach Resort. Young people can register for that now. It's a youth leadership symposium. It's Radisson. It's running from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you get onto our website or our Facebook page, you'll see the poster there, and it'll give you a link that will take you right to the registration form. Right. So that's for ages 14 to 30. We're looking at young people who are in school and those who are transitioning from education school to probably to new employment life. And you don't have to be attached to a school to participate.
And you say it's based on youth leadership.
Yes.
It's based on youth leadership. And of course, youngsters, which I will be keen to of course,
that's
participate in that.
And we have a lot of dynamic young people people who are doing great things in the community, and we're featuring them. Those are keynote speakers, our local, our panelists, our local, all of the breakout rooms and so forth. So we're looking forward to a really inspiring discussions that will happen at that event. And because it falls under the Ministry of Youth's ICANN umbrella, it's like a kickoff to a program that they're going to have, and you're going to see other events coming out of it as the year goes on.
All right. Tell us more. Tell us more. I'm keen to find out more.
So after that, so that is the Youth Symposium. We spoke about Calypso, but we have Gospel Fusion coming up on the 21st. I know our team was here earlier this morning, so I'm just going to mention it again. But that's taking place at Progress Park on Sunday the 21st from 1:30 p.m. with the gates open because it's a family day. So we'll have activity for the children and fun and eats and craft and things you can purchase. So you can come out early. Showtime is going to be around 3:30 p.m. And we're putting on display the best of our talent in that area. So you can really look forward to an inspiring afternoon where we keep our spirituality at the center, because I think that's an important part of who we are as Grenadian as well.
All right, great. The beautification process.
Yes. So beautification.
Well, you see, we already started in GBN in your backdrop here.
Yes. Happy to see that. It is a call we've made to all of the business community and our communities in general we wanted businesses to get out there at the beginning of the year. I know it's still Christmas. We're at a challenging time always for independence. We're transitioning from Christmas, because Christmas officially ended on Monday this week. So some people still have Christmas decorations up. So we moving out Christmas. Every morning I'm seeing more businesses taking down Christmas and putting up independence. And usually there is a lapse between the two things happening, but I'm seeing more of one coming down and the other one going up automatically, and that's what we want to encourage. The decorations have been going up throughout the island. It's a kind of situation where once it starts, everybody wants to see it in their community immediately. And they are working. I know every night they're working in an area and it's going up. So every parish has been touched and will be retouched in terms of enhancing and expanding that. But we are also dependent on the communities to come together and start to beautify their areas. We are making a national call for the weekend of January 20th as well, to use it as a cleanup opportunity and an exercise to go out there and beautify our communities and make use of our natural resources in that beautification process. Painting to enhance things that need a little brightening, but not in a way that is defacing. I think if we keep enhancement at the forefront, we can use that to really drive what we do. Things might be broken in the area. All that is part, and fix it. That's all part of beautification. I'm certain.
But you don't have to paint it up always. But you can fix it by.
You can fix it.
That's adding an enhancement to it.
That's adding an enhancement to it. Clear up our areas, debush our areas, things that have been in the bush hidden by some shrubs and everything for
kind of keeping
that
years. Natural aspect
I
of it. I
always say there's still Ivan galvanized out there. I'm sure there's a lot of areas we could still find some galvanized from Ivan.
Yes.
So if we make an effort to come together and really make the country sparkle.
I know you could have a beautiful 50th, of course, on D-Day, the 7th of February.
Yes.
All right. Now, what other significant aspect are we looking forward to that would lead to before D-Day, the February 7th, that Grenadians could say, well, that was spunk that Owen offer us?
Well,
I know sometimes there are things you may want to keep in the bag just a wee bit.
I mean, I can. About the 7th itself, it's really going to be a spectacular occasion. Just to give some insight, because we are going to be speaking about it more, but the event will start with a military parade, as is traditional. They will head out. It's in the afternoon. They'll head out from the barracks on Melville Street about 2 p.m. and arriving into the stadium with the parade around 2:30. So I'm just forewarning people to prepare yourself for maybe a period
than
normal,
the normal, of
in
course,
the stadium.
Sort of how we do it on the 7th.
Yeah, but it will certainly be worth every moment of it. The All Things Grenada Expo is taking place on the 2nd of February, and that's going to be on the Carriacou, and that's going to give an opportunity to our vendors, our horticulturists, our agriculturists, different disciplines across.
Is that going to be an all-day event?
Yes, going to run from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And it will be all along the Carriacou. You can come out and patronize all of the different vendors and support them, and then that will also be replicated on the day of the 7th as well.
Okay.
So they'll have an opportunity there to engage in sale and people to. So there'll be a lot to do at the stadium. I mean, people already said they're going to be there very early, whether they pack in a basket or whatever, and they want to secure their seat. I do encourage that they do that and support all of our vendors there on the 7th, as well as look out for the cultural explosion of what's going to come. In addition to the military parade, the police have been practicing already. So it's going to be something. We have a number of things happening between school participation, mass movement activities. So it's going to be something to behold. And I won't talk about the fireworks display because
we do have someone on the line, of course. So a couple of folks, the viewers and listeners may want to chime in and ask a question or two of course, from of you this morning. Let's get this first caller in. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Morning, DT again, and happy New Year to you, Mrs. Purcell. Just a few points. One, for people who are not within your fold, in Tumblr, for instance, for the last 4 or 5 years, my organization, Sons of the Earth, Grenada, have been doing an annual activity in the month of January in honor of the late Dr. Winston Thomas and the late Michael Jones. And we have chosen this year to also include, hold it in celebration also of the 50th anniversary. Is it okay to say that? Or are we violating your terms of reference? We have a high-profile set of doctors and food scientists and so on who would talk about cancer, food, and climate imbalance. What have happened in the past? Although these things were highly high-level conducted, the participation of the public have not been as really could be. More people from the outside. These are virtual sessions. Could you help us to ensure that as many Grenadians, especially as there's that almost epidemic of people with cancer, particularly women, breast cancer, and men, prostate cancer, to help us to get it promoted as many people, Latin American people and others will be joining us. We would like to have as much Grenadian people participate in that. And then the other issue I want to raise, in the year of the 50th anniversary, two things. One, if we have March 13, are you planning to really celebrate March 13 this year in a big way that we have been afraid to do in the past year? And finally, in the issue of dealing with the Constitution, there was an omission that the people who was in charge at the dawn of our independence made, and that is appropriating the Constitution within our Parliament. Could you suggest to the powers that be, including the opposition, that they at least make some compromise and at least appropriate the Constitution so that we could set the basis for going forward in reforming our Constitution and so on, because that is a sticking point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Any response to the callers?
The first, with regard to the first event, I don't have the details on it.
Okay. So
I would have to learn more beyond what was said here and see if there's any way that we could play a role.
Okay.
I encourage caller, he could reach out to us at the Secretariat and probably could have a further discussion about it.
Okay.
And And the others, I can say there are certain things that are outside of the realm of the NOC in terms of we are to implement the activities and events as planned by the committee. And there are certain things that are government decisions from the core central operations of government.
All right.
So I know we've been challenged over the last year that NOC has almost become everything, and we have to be realistic of what the reach of our committee really is.
There's only as much as you can do.
Yeah. Yes. Based on what we are mandated to do.
Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, welcome. Maybe our final caller this morning. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning. Happy Independence to all. What I think is that everything is being done too late, especially the beautifying. You should have some more things like bumper stickers, T-shirt printing, even that money that was put out for the independence. We should see more of it flowing into the communities. Every year we're asking the people to come out and do this and do that. But I think because of the 50th and all the money that was being prepared and all the things, I think we should have seen more of it pump out into the community, out into the outskirts of the country and just locally so we can see it, hear it, feel it. That's what I think. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution, man. That was our final caller this morning. It's already 10 a.m. It's about time for us to take a wrap. Any final comments before we take a wrap for you, Ms. Purcell?
I just would want to make a call for people to come out and support all of the events as they're coming along, and there are things that are going to continue. So while there's almost a climax of things now, or I wouldn't say climax, but a national side of the events right now, post February 7th, the parishes will continue on an individual level, highlighting their independence activities. So there's going to be opportunities that will take place further on down the line.
And they have shows, of course, there are more events will be added as
those events will be added in those periods as well. Carriacou just started off because they started in January.
Yes.
And they have Carriacou always has a level of their own independence activities that mirror what happens on the national level, because certainly everybody from Carriacou can't come down to the mainland. So it's unique in that way. But each parish coming out of February, we will roll into St. Patrick's will have their celebrations, followed by St. Mark, followed by St. David, and it will continue.
All right. Okay. Mr. Mark, in terms of Calypso, any final information you want to share with us this morning?
Quickly, it will be a bumper show, both of them, the 28th and the 27th, and we are asking people to come out.
All right.
Come out and enjoy.
All right. I want to thank you both for being with us. I also want to thank, of course, Mr. Jack from Carriacou and, of course, Mr. Clouden from the Ministry of Sport. I want to thank him also for sharing information, putting it into the spoken activity. And as time draws closer, of course, I know I'll be having you folks back again to speak more. You could never stop talking about the 50th anniversary. So there's much more information that will be shared as time draws closer. I want to thank you both once again. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And to our listeners and viewers, I want to thank you so much for being part of the program this morning. Join us again for another edition of To The Point. Have yourself a good one. This is where I say goodbye for today. All the best.